There we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly webinar. My name is Kevin. Nice to have you guys all here. So it's a lovely Friday. It is Friday, isn't it? I think it is. I've lost track of time. I've been busy. Anyway, so today we're going to introduce our new HikPartner Pro, and I need to get this into my head because I'm so familiar with our ePartner and our HikPartner Pro itself. So I need to translate the two a little bit better. So yeah, here we go. All right. So in this is our new app focused more on the security business itself. There's going to be a little bit of an overview that we're going to be looking at. We're also going to look at a bit of features, the service of the customizing of the entire app, as well as the safety and security aspect of it. Right, in the first module, we're going to be just discussing what is this exactly, what is this app. So this app is a combination between, it's our HikPartner Pro, it's a combination between our Hik Pro Connect app that we used to have for installers, as well as our ePartner app. So it's a combination between the two. Yes, making life a little bit more easier. So the nice thing about this app is you have multiple different ways that you can use this as a management, as different applications where you can use this, how you can use this. So yeah, from remote configurations to reset of passwords, you can also do health monitoring, invoices as well, send quotations out, and so much more. So we're going to have a look at that. Right, so just a recap, just to show you. So a lot of you might be familiar with our two apps. So the first one was our ePartner. The ePartner app gave us the capability, and I see now that you guys can't always see all the things in the background. So I'm going to hide my camera there for a second or two. Right, there we go. Now you can see a bit more. Right, so the app is basically designed from the ground up for both apps together. So it's a one-stop solution now for business as a platform, as a closed loop. So the nice thing about this is you have that ePartner, so a Hikvision partner as an installer, as an SI, or maybe a reseller, as well as the Pro Connect app section of how we used to run with things. So the Hik Pro Connect app was designed for the management, for the installer to be able to have a bit more control, so he can use certain functionalities by maybe assigning certain permissions to certain installers, or give permission towards his client, allow the client to just add this equipment, and then once the client is ready and they want them to maybe sort out any problems, they will grant them permission back again. So it was a very nice tool. But now, obviously, businesses, need to join together, and that is where we have our HikPartner Pro. So under the HikPartner Pro, there's some additional things from your different sites compared to what we used to have on the Hik Pro Connect. You have health monitoring as well. There's still the normal gifts like on the ePartner. There is the remote configurations, device management itself. And there's so much more different exploring, cloud storages, everything is there. So in the next part is we're going to be discussing just to explore a little bit. So the explore mode is very nice. So it grants us the capability of obviously having a look. Where's my little laser? So I can show you guys. To have a look at different options of list of products, the new information, some unboxing videos, some material, some social material that you could put to your client. There are so many different applications on the app. Not just that, you can also make it a favorite. So if there's something specific that your company works with, let's say your company works a lot with the AX Pro alarm system, you can go towards that detailed page and make it your favorite. So whenever the client is asking for something, you go straight there, and you can share that social media information as a marketing tool towards your client from multiple different platforms. So the nice thing is once you're in there itself, for the exploring side of things, There are some highlight features, there are videos, there are posters with pictures. We have software information, IP information, training videos, promotion. There's so much more, newsletters, how-to guides to give you clear indication of what needs to be done for that specific project or line that you're looking at, and we'll go into that shortly. So under that itself, the nice thing is you can go and select a specific model. Under that model itself, you'll find the entire page with the information. You can share that with your client or with maybe some of your staff or maybe another manager or salesperson. Underneath that also, you'll find different PDFs that you can download, key features, different data sheets, so much more to help guide you from a single program in the palm of your hand on your mobile phone, easy to use. So if you are focusing on a solution for ANPR camera towards boom, this is the platform that I was talking about that is very soon to be released. It's released now, guys, it's out there. So if you want to do some integration with that, you go and search for that type of integration, and it will give you the following options. It will give you different guides. And then if you go into that specific camera for that option, then you can get all the information that you need to know, which is pretty awesome. Not just that, you can also do comparison. So we can take a specific model versus another model, and we can compare the two models, what's going to be a better option. So we normally do this in the real world with mobile phones. We always compare another brand or another model of camera or different mobile phone with different cameras to compare which model of mobile phone is going to be suitable for your teenage kids, where you have to spend a crap load of money. Can I say that? I could say that. I hope I'm not going to get beeped for this. All right. So you can find different options and different solutions. So very nice little feature in that itself. Not just that, I think a lot of the guys are going to really go for this. So this gives you the capability of doing your own quotes. Yes, you heard me correctly. Do your own quotes. So from searching whatever products that you are interested or whatever your client is requesting, doing that quote list itself, editing the prices according to what your standard of prices would be. So if you know that, listen, as example, that switch is a certain amount, then you can go and add your markup on it, whatever the case is, and then add it into your save files. So when you do that sheet and you print it out, the nice thing is you can also add your labor, your additional cost, your hardware cost, whatever that you would like to add as well. And then you just simply send the quote through towards your client. That's all from your phone. I'm like, really, this is like a no-brainer. There's no need for you to spend additional money on normal ways that we used to in the environment in South Africa. Some companies will use, QuickBooks. Other companies will use Pastel, Payroll, to do all these type of features of quotations for Word or Excel. This is just an amazing little tool, all in one app. Like, it's a no-brainer. So there's different solutions under that HikPartner itself. You see the I go again, under the Pro, the Partner Pro. So the nice thing about those solutions are there's so many different ways that you can go and look at solutions. So like I said, if your client is saying, listen, I would like to have that a camera that will open up automatically once it sees the car by the entrance, it needs to open it up. So then you're going to need an ANPR camera. So there's different solutions that you can build, and you can go and search for those solutions, which makes it just so much easier. So under those second part, we're going to focus on the devices, the installation side of things. Under the devices itself, or the installation part of it, the nice thing is you still have the app, just like Hik Central, very similar. You can put that GPS location information in of where your clients are, what the routes are. You can navigate your staff through that app itself to, help guide as well. There's so much more that you can do with these site information. And on that site information, who the client is, what the devices are there, what the job description is that you need to go to. You can copy and paste this information. This is just such an amazing tool in one. It's like unreal. So the next option is also, a lot of the guys are familiar with this. We used to have so much different options, but when it comes to devices, you can do multiple batch import of information of IP addresses of devices, remote configuration, peer-to-peer configuration. You've got QR code. You can reboot the devices from there. You can do live playback. You can do live streaming, image capturing, download that information, configuring your different settings on your devices. So, and I've said to the guys in training lately as well, this is very important. People still think that CCTV cameras are lick and stick. You know, you do the installation. Once you're done with the installation, the client will sign your job card and you leave site. You're happy. No can do. That doesn't work like that in the real world. We all know that. You're going to go back to that site because the client says, listen, I can't see my garage back door at nighttime, whatever the case is. There are certain settings that you need to go through. There's certain, if I can put it in a nice way, calibration that needs to be set up on each individual camera. This is necessary from inside to outside. Each environment is different. So the nice thing about this is if you are under your HikPartner Pro account and your client has granted you access, you can go and make the changes remotely from home. And I normally used to take 50 minutes when I get at home. My wife would know, let me quickly go through a few of the settings. And then once I'm done, I'm done. So the more you train and the more you get familiar with this, the easier it becomes. Right, following up with that, like I said, that remote configuration. The nice thing is you can reset the passwords there. You can either be off-site or on-site. So there's no need for you to anymore go through that whole lengthy profile of taking that information, exporting that file on that morning, sending it through to whoever your ND is or Hikvision, and then waiting for that email to come back with that little file, then quickly rushing back to the client, then upload that file, then quickly change the password. It's a no-brainer now. You can do it via the LAN, off-site or on-site. As long as you get permission granted by the client, there's a lot of information about that, and we have separate training videos for that. You can also upgrade the firmware of the devices itself remotely, but we have to hammer on this case when it comes to upgrading firmware and devices. Please, guys, make note that when it comes to upgrading, make sure that your client's infrastructure is correct. We all know that we have load shedding. We all know that there are power spikes. We all know that we have disconnections on mobile networking, right? So make sure that you are prepared for that kind of environment. So what I mean by that, if your client has a camera system, you need to update the firmware and you are too worried about that schedule of upgrading, best is go put a UPS on the NVR, make sure that the internet also has a backup power source, and then you update the firmware. Because if the firmware crashes halfway through, you have created a lot of problems for yourself. All right, so keep that in mind, please, guys. Then next up is our remote network management. This works with our manageable smart switches. These are normal Hikvision switches that are smart devices that are manageable, not unmanageable. There are a difference. The nice thing about these switches is doing that health monitoring. So you'll see exactly what's happening regarding the network of the infrastructure, if there's any conflict, if there's any bandwidth issues, or maybe any ports that need to be reset or forwarded, or an IP clash. Maybe a printing company is there and they made the IP address similar to what one of your cameras are. Now it's a conflict, etc. So normally we try and keep our network in our own range, right? Not just that, as you can see with the health monitoring, plenty, multiple different alerts that you can get. And my little laser just don't want to work with me. It just disappeared on me. And my PPT just crashed. Don't crash, don't crash. All right, so before it crashes, so just to let you guys know, so false alarms, checkings, The nice thing is also make sure that you focus on its busy crashing. Focus on that storage side itself for the report. You have up to 7 days. It all depends on your setup. You can also export it 3 different ways. So very nice. So if there is any network issues, you can do the printout and say, this is what happened. Please take note of this. This we need to sort out. So you can show your client and prove to them what's going on. All right. Not just that, under that management side, like we said, for the quotations, for the call outs, the travel request, there's so many different ways, the warranty, the service plan, especially these for the health monitoring. So there's plenty of different things that you can do with this. And in your business itself, you have a bit more control. So for HR, this is a no-brainer. This was another item that we used to have on our HIK Pro Connect account. So we brought it over to the new app itself. And yes, the HIK Pro Connect is falling away. It's being replaced by the HikPartner Pro. The HikPartner Pro is those 2 apps combined into one, making life easier. The next page is the most epic page for any installer or technician or salesperson. There are multiple different tools here, really. You've got from a hard disk calculator to see what your storage space needs to be, your bandwidth space, because this is a big issue and guys don't focus on this. Also, you can look at maybe calculating your different channels for your NVR, your different lenses. This is just amazing. So there's so much different tools and options and configurations that you can use these tools for. Not just that, also take note that we have that open platform itself. So if you have any third party or any other devices itself, you can store it towards the cloud side. So we can also take that like time and attendance to third party programs. We can take your visitors or your terminals towards third party, your alarm systems or surveillance towards an ARC company. So you have that capability. So if your ARC company, ARC for short term, long term, your arm response company itself, if your arm response company is using programs like Listener, Watch Manager, or whatever the case might be, please speak to your representative. There are plenty of ways that we can integrate our devices into their platform, which alerts them that they need to respond. Obviously, with surveillance, it makes it so much better because now we can see what's going on. Same goes for the alarm side. Like I mentioned, there are plenty of ways. So we can have either peer-to-peer or ISAP5. ISAP5 protocol is the most secure protocol at the moment through the web of cloud and information. So I personally am a very big believer in this. I really enjoyed this program to make sure that everything is secured, right? Not just that, you have the normal SureGuard communication itself. Most guys are familiar with that, what that means. That is under our contact ID information as a language barrier in South Africa that we are using. So that will translate it back towards the arm response company, right? Not just that, we have plenty other cases as well. So if there is a situation where you want to, maybe you have difficulties to reset certain passwords, if you have maybe a device ticket where there's something wrong on the device side or software side, or maybe customized firmware or something, you have plenty of ways that you can submit those tickets live and have that communication with Hikvision directly with online support, which is just the most amazing way for any site person that's got any issues. So you create a new one, you just go through the whole process itself and then submit, and then there will be a communication between you and Hikvision directly. So not just that, we also have the cloud storage, like I mentioned, so especially for those backup information. This is not storage for permanent recording. This is storage for notifications to say what has happened. So if in the event that maybe somebody crosses any lines or intrusions, or maybe facial capturing or number plate capturing, or whatever the case might be, special cases, that will be uploaded to the cloud. And there's obviously a certain time period that that information will stay on the cloud. So if in the event that something does happen, maybe there's an armed robbery at a business, and then obviously that notifications will go onto the cloud, and they will take out the NVR while they're doing the armed robbery. They run away, jump into the red or whatever white panel van, and then there they get away with the NVR or DVR. This will give you the capability of going back to that cloud storage and quickly getting that footage, so you can give it to the police department or your private security company to start with the alerts. Co-branding, this is nothing new. You guys are used to this, I'm sure of it. We've mentioned this multiple different times. So now the nice thing is, as you guys know, you can also have your co-branding with your information of your company, your telephone number, description of what your company does or who your company is. The nice thing is, once that is loaded with your logo and everything, and you go and load your client onto the HikConnect app and you register them, it will show, instead of the HikConnect logo, it will show your company logo, making it more suitable for your business and better for your advertising. So if he's showing his friends at that braai after the golf day how the alarm system works, or how pretty his cameras look like, or maybe that the camera's looking at the neighbor's wife, whoever, whatever the case might be, then at least you can show him and he'll see the logo, and then obviously more branding for you, more advertising, more business. Next up is just on the different options itself for that mail point. So with that, as you guys know, on the old system itself, we had different credits, lucky draws, different point systems in order to get credits, to be able to get different points, so you can get discounts on certain products, rewards, etc. That is still in this. This was part of our HikPartner. So now from the ePartner, it's moved over to the HikPartner Pro. So it will still carry on, so you won't lose anything. Everything is moving forward. So congratulations on that. And the same goes for the Hik Pro Connect app itself. All right, just a little bit of an overview of the safety protocols itself. As you guys know, as I mentioned, you have that peer-to-peer secured environment as well. And you also have the ISAP secured environment for that capability. So whatever your application is, directly to the cloud, directly to your client itself or your management company, the technical company, it is secured. There's no bridges, there's no gaps, there's no whatever the case is. So if your client doesn't want you to see certain cameras, or the client wants you to see the networking of the cameras, but not the actual video footage or playback, they can block you. So you can only look at the technical information, not see him and his wife in the kitchen on the counter. I'm joking. Let's move on. All right. Then you can also scan this QR code if you would like to. This will take you to the App Store in order to download it, to get it. So I'm going to leave it there for a few seconds so you guys can have a look. So it's on the Play Store. So please go and have a look. It's on the Apple App Store as well. So it's very easy to get, straightforward to install, play around with it, go through it. And this is obviously just the first introduction of this to go through it all. All right, perfect. And now after this, we will do the Q&A. So if you would like to, you can stay behind and then we can do that Q&A portion of it. And then, yeah. So for the rest of the guys on YouTube, see you guys next time. And yeah, all right, awesome.